everybody, and welcome to beautiful Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's a dandy day for baseball, and we've got the third game in the first SEC series. Goldbeck is the DH. He's been the DH in all three games. Mateo Serna is at first base today. He's been catching. He'll bat second. Caden Pierre returns to the lineup after an injury in center field. Brock Daniels is the left fielder. He made a fine diving catch last night. Jackson Lovich has had a good series at shortstop. Tyler Macon gets his first start. He's the right fielder. Trey Lawrence is the second baseman. Jadier Hernandez is catching for the first time in the series. He's batting eighth. And Keegan Knutson, who slapped a couple of home runs yesterday, is the third baseman and batting ninth. His average has ascended to .304. And that is a lineup, Ronnie Rance, which is going to go up against hard-throwing Chase Stores.
Yeah, Shores is one of those interesting prospects, a guy who missed all of last year for LSU with coming off of arm surgery, and he is back 100% healthy. He had a really good fall. You see his numbers so far, 4-0. This will be his fifth start of the season, 3.15 earned run average, 22 punch-outs in those 20 innings, only 7 walks, and it will show a fastball 94 to 97 miles an hour, a good slider, but the key is, can he command the zone? He's been a little bit wild the last couple of outings, and can he get ahead of hitters, get off to a fast start?
You mentioned the hits, Ronnie. 22 of them he's allowed in 20 innings. 20 of those 22 have been for singles, so he has not been reached for extra base hits very often. Chase Shores delivers the first pitch. The big right-hander misses wide to Garrett Goldberg. Goldberg in the series is 1 for 6 with a run scored. This is his third start at the top of the order as DH. Goldberg out of Kansas City, Missouri. I should say Goldbeck. So Gehrig as in Lou, Goldbeck at the plate. He has a slightly open stance, chokes up just a little bit. And Goldbeck is turned away, but he takes a strike on the inside part of the plate.
That'll be good for Chase Shores and all pitchers if that's called a strike. That ball upper region. Usually the strike zone's a little smaller early in the game, but that was a wide one. And that's a good sign too. 99 miles an hour on that offering. Just missed off the outside corner as Shores was trying to go down and away to Goldbeck.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Goldbeck. A high fly ball to left field. Nothing's going to carry in that direction today. Derek Curiel makes the catch. Well, the sky today is the color of a mature Gulf crab claw. It's that blue. This wind is 15 to 30, maybe more at times. If Columbus had this wind behind him, he would have arrived in 1491. 68 degrees right now. No chance of rain. But it is howling out toward right field.
I mean, you got to be a man to hit a home run to left. I'd be curious to see if the big fella Jones can poke one out to left today. But it's going to help these lefty hitters or righty hitters going the opposite way. There's a number of guys in both lineups that are very good to the opposite field, but anything to right is going to be benefited in a big way out to that part of the field.
And the outfielders are going to have to compensate, Ronnie.
Yep.
They're going to have to be aware that wind will carry the ball back to them or away from them with some gusto.
Yeah, anything in the air, infielders are not going to have to they can't give up on it because the ball may come back to them.
Mm-hmm. A predominant left to right wind blowing steadily right now at 25 to 30. The pitch to Serna. Slap foul the other way. Serna was the catcher the first couple of games.
Yes, Serna is over at first base today. Hernandez is actually catching for Missouri in this series tonight. Missouri 8-10 on the year, 0-2 in SEC play.
Mateo Serna is from Doral, Florida. That pitch was just a tick under 99. The big right-hander Chase Shores takes that very, very short windup, works out of the stretch.
Now, Shores was a guy that a lot of people thought might be the Friday night starter for LSU when the season began. And, who knows? It's a long year. Things can happen. Rotations can get jumbled up. It's been just a little bit inconsistent with the release point, to the point where I think right now Sunday is a perfect spot for him, but he has a lot of room and potential to grow. And he's 6'8", throws 99 miles an hour, has a lot of different release points. So definitely something to keep an eye on. And then Hernandez looks like he got one off of that left forearm.
The umpire actually came out to give Hernandez a little more time to recover, and then summoned some folks from the LSU dugout.
Let's see here on the foul ball. Yeah, right. That foul ball hit right off of that left forearm, and
that's not a place you get hit much. That's difficult to get hit in that place. But he gets very low, spreads out behind the plate, and apparently is ready to continue with 2 balls, 2 strikes on Mateo Cerna after Goldbeck. First strikeout for Shores on a heater. Curiel, Stanfield, and Brown are in the outfield from left to right. Braswell and Milam are the infielders on the left side. Dickinson and Jones are the infielders on the right side. Shores and Hernandez form the LSU battery. And this has been a pretty good defense this year, Ronnie. The fielding percentage is approaching .980. Right at it. Here's Caden Pierre. He started the first game in center field. He was injured. He suffered what appeared to be a hamstring injury of some sort. He did not play yesterday after being removed from the game on Friday, but he's back in the lineup today.
Well, Pierre pulled a Ronnie Ranch yesterday. He showed up late for breakfast, so that's why he didn't start, but he was available to pinch hit. But he was on time today, Lynn, as I made that mistake once under Skip Bertman. Got sat for a doubleheader for breaking curfew. Never did that again.
I find it hard to believe you were late for a meal.
Well, that's true. I never was late for a meal, but I did break curfew. So, if we're being honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a foul ball. One umpire may have called fair. The other one called foul. Jay Johnson wants an explanation.
Yeah, he wants the one that gives him the out. That's the one he wants. Let's see here. Watch where Jones is. It's not where Jones's body is. It's where the ball is, and that clearly looked foul.
I thought so too.
And that ball was caught probably, I don't know, at least 3 feet to the right of the bag before it even reached the bag.
Now remember, the green double base is in foul territory. The entire green double base is out of the field of play.
And the bag is not green just for the St. Patrick's Day, which is tomorrow, and the big parade's rolling down in Baton Rouge. But there it is. You can either be a green bag or an orange bag.
Right.
And LSU picked the color green.
Well, the whole SEC, I think, picked the color green. This ball will drift away from Jake Brown, but he stays with it, and that retires the side. A fly ball to left, a strikeout, and Caden Pierre flies out to Brown in right field. 3 up, 3 down. The Tigers like this, and there are 4 Tigers who have played and started in every game. That would be Curiel, Jones, Dickinson, and Milam. 7 of these 9 are hitting 300 or better. 2 of them are hitting 400 or better. Curiel, Jones, Dickinson, Fry, Milam, Brown, Hernandez, Braswell, Stanfield, and 7 runners left on base this series, 7 for 9 with runners in scoring position over the course of the first couple of games. On the mound, Caden Drew for Missouri.
Drew out of Scottsdale, Arizona, one of the great places to play golf in America. And a lefty, 84, 86 miles an hour is where he's going to be. He's got very good command both sides of the plate. And then you'll see a slider and a changeup out of him. This will be a guy who's literally about 10 plus miles an hour slower than Chase Shore. So we have quite the difference between the power righty and the soft throwing lefty. But LSU over the years has struggled a little bit with those soft throwing lefties that command the strike zone.
He has struck out 15 and walked 7, so that's 1 every 3 innings. This is the 3rd consecutive southpaw starter for Missouri.
Yeah, you don't see that very often at any level of baseball. 3 lefties in a row.
Derek Curriell, Jared Jones, and Daniel Dickinson for the LSU Tigers in the 1st. Ball 1. Dickinson is 2 for 7 in the series with a double and an RBI. He comes in batting a whopping .426. He's been on base in every game. Derek Curriell at the plate waiting. And he slices this one foul. So Curriell, Jones, and Dickinson. I misspoke about Curriell earlier. But it is Curriell leading off, and he's been a mainstay there the entire year. The Californian takes that pitch. Curriell will update his numbers for the series. He's 2 for 8. One of those was a triple. He's driven in 3 on that base hit. The pitch curls away. Three balls, 2 strikes. Derek Curriell doing what he does so well at the top of the order.
Sets the table, sees a lot of pitches, which benefits his teammates, regardless of whether he makes out or not. And right there draws another walk, takes one right off the corner. Just so good for a guy who just who's only got 68 college at bats.
Daniels and Peer and Macon in the outfield. Lovich and Lawrence are the middle infielders. Knutson and Cerna are on the corners. Hernandez is catching, and Drew is pitching. Jared Jones comes to the plate. He's 2 for 9 in the series. Jones has a 5-game hitting streak. Curriell has a 21-game on-base streak. Jones with that wide stance now closes it a little bit and takes a strike.
Yeah, back-to-back changeups by Drew, and if you're Jones, a right-handed hitter here, and you're seeing an 85-mile-an-hour fastball and a changeup 10 miles an hour less than that, you got to try to tell yourself to hit a line drive over the first baseman's head. That way you can stay back.
He swings and can't find it.
He humped up that time, went 87, and was a great location. In on the hands, because you know Jones wants to lean out over the plate a little bit, hit it the other way, and that time he tied him up with an excellent fastball.
Let's see what happens on the 1-2 pitch.
Surprise, couldn't catch up to it, and then hits him with a 77-mile-an-hour freeze ball change.
That ball had some bend to it as well. Now here is Daniel Dickinson. Curriell at first base. Right back to the inner part of the plate for a strike. Dickinson hitting .364. He's got 6 homers. He's driven in 27. He's having an excellent first third of the season. The runner is away from first. A fly ball twisting into foul ground to right side, and there is no room for the right fielder Macon. Curriell was in motion. Dickinson fouled it out of play.
Now Dickinson can send the thank you note to TAF for that one. Gets him another pitch here by putting those box seats out there. That one would have been caught. Great effort out there by the right fielder, Macon. You know, Carrick Jackson talked about his starter to me in the dugout before the game, Caden Drew, and mentioned, look, if he's going to have success against these LSU hitters, he has to establish both sides of the plate with the fastball. So far, so good, commanding that inside quadrant. Right there, try to go back again, just missed, but a good pitch that'll make the LSU hitters value that part of the plate so that he can get you out with the changeup away, which is what he wants to do.
He got ahead 0-2. It's now 2-2. That's elevated. And the count is full. Let's watch Curiel here on a 3-2 count. 1 out. He was away on the pitch a couple of throws ago. He might be running here. He stretches his lead by a little bit. There he goes. And the batter is hit. Dickinson is hit by a pitch. And so a walk, a strikeout, and a hit batter. And LSU has a pair of base runners early.
Drew a little bit still figuring out the command here in the first inning. He's been a little up with pitches where normally he's down in the dirt. Wow, 11 hit by pitches so far this season. That's a bunch for being just a month into the year.
Ethan Fry, a day after his birthday, gets the start at DH.
Turned 21 yesterday.
Curiel and Dickinson aboard. Fry sends one out into the parking lot on the right side. That's an early souvenir outside of the ball yard. Stephen Milam is on deck. The outfield plays Fry pretty deep and maybe 3 steps or so toward right field. That's the way the gusty winds continue to blow. One out, 2 aboard, a ball and 2 strikes. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. The final game. To spend some time with us, call a buddy or two and tell them the game is on as LSU's Tigers look for a 3rd straight victory against Missouri. LSU will be on the road next week for its first SEC road series, and that will be in Austin to take on the Longhorns. The 1-2 pitch to Fry. Again, lifted out of play on the right side. Nice catch out there near the top row of the bleachers.
Ethan Fry in his 3rd season for LSU, who has gotten off to a good start, definitely factoring in the mix to be a main contributor.
Especially against left-handed pitchers.
And Coach Johnson doing a good job of kind of keeping everybody involved, and you know, everybody's having a good start to the year, so you know he's got to keep playing them until players start to separate a little bit.
That's off the mark.
Excellent take by Fry, because that pitch from Drew was really good, especially what you wanted. 1-2 changeup just missed down in the zone.
And the count is level at 2. Fry is doing what you suggested earlier, Ronnie. He's really waiting on the pitches. He's not been able to find the right field corner in fair territory, but he's sent several foul balls to the right side.
Well, for these LSU hitters, I mean, think about it. In scrimmages and practices, they're seeing fastballs 10 miles an hour faster than what they're seeing from Drew. So they're used to putting that foot down early. Instead, they've got to take an opposite approach.
That's upstairs, and the count finally goes full after 5 foul balls. Fry carries a .333 average to the plate.
Now, what an outstanding at bat for Fry. Much like Braswell last night, we hit it the other way. It's a guy who's got a lot of experience, transfer from Indiana State, and that was an excellent approach. You see Tim Jamison, the pitching coach, out to the mound to have a word. And Tim Jamison there in the yellow sleeves, 30 years he's been at Missouri, a couple different stints, assistant, head coach. Started off his career as a baseball player at UNO back in the late 70s, early 80s. And he and Carrick Jackson, good friends. Carrick Jackson worked for Tim Jamison as an assistant when he was the head coach at Missouri. And then Jamison's been an assistant at Memphis as well as now with the Missouri Tigers, and he handles the pitchers. He was an excellent job. You heard of a guy named Scherzer. Well, that was his coach. And many other big leaguers played for Jamison over the years.
The bullpen is just now starting to stretch. Nobody's even throwing yet for Missouri. They went through a series of stretching calisthenics, but nobody yet throwing from the mound. That bullpen down on the left side. LSU has the hideaway bullpen under the right field bleachers. Braswell turns away. He was almost hit. Curiel walked. Jones struck out looking. Dickinson was hit by a pitch. Fry doubled in a run. Milam had a sacrifice fly. Brown hit a home run. Hernandez has followed with a single. This is sharply hit, but gloved by Lovich. He'll take the out at second base. Right field. Up and away. You can pucker up and kiss it.
By this Missouri offense, Daniels, the 4-hole hitter, they've been pesky this weekend as an offense. They had 3 home runs on Friday. Of course, yesterday it was a 1-run ball game, and they gave LSU everything they could handle.
Daniels is now 3 for 10 in the series. They've been singles, all of them. And Lovich comes to the plate. He's 3 for 7 with a home run and a couple of RBI. The infield, which turned 2 double plays in the latter part of the game last night, is at double play depth again. Lovich's home run came in game 1 of the series.
Lovich from the same hometown as LSU's Ashton Larson, both from Overland Park, Kansas. I'm sure they're played together against each other.
That was not a full swing, but he was able to control the bat enough to slice it foul. Let's check in at Tiger Park. LSU leads Kentucky in softball 1-0. That's in the second inning. Sydney Berzon is in the circle for the Tigers, looking for her 12th straight victory this season. LSU won the first 2 softball games. You know, Ronnie, the Tigers, when you combine softball and baseball, only 1 loss for each team. And the only team in the nation where the softball team is rated in the top 5, and so is the baseball team.
Pretty impressive.
Milam will charge it. He transfers out at first base. Good play by Milam. Nice stretch to the right field side by Jones. 6-3 on the putout.
Excellent pitch. Watch this arm side run. Gets in on the hands. And you got to get rid of that ball quickly. And just does get Lovich. Excellent play by Milam, who just continues to impress. You know, we think of him as an LSU fan. We think of him as second baseman because that's what he became an All-American a year ago. But he said, hey, I'm a shortstop. I played shortstop my entire life except for last year. And so he definitely doesn't think of himself as making a conversion to shortstop, and he's proving it each and every ball game.
Tyler Macon comes to the plate for the first time in this series, hitting .375. This is only the 5th start for Macon. He is 6 for 16 at the plate with a double. and a home run.
He's a redshirt freshman, and he definitely in those 16 at-bats has been very good. 6 hits.
One and two with one out. A runner at second base. LSU leads 4-0. Missouri batting for the second time. Shores rocks, fires, and misses wide, and the count is even at 2.
That was a nice play by Hernandez to backhand that ball. That's a 97-mile-an-hour fastball that was well off the plate. This could have easily gotten to the backstop. Watch, Hernandez is set up on the inside corner. That's thrown in the left-handed batter's box. So nice cat-like reflexes to keep that one.
No question, the majority of those would probably get by. The pitch jammed him. So Shores is able to come back with a strike after missing 3 straight times. The count is full. And other than Category 1 hurricane winds, this is a beautiful day for baseball. The 3-2 pitch. Hit on the ground into right field. Macon delivers in his first at bat. Here's the throw to the plate, and it's a very high one as it sailed on Jake Brown. Brock Daniels scores easily from second base. Macon gets the RBI and moves up on the throw to the plate. To it when it got to the plate.
Yeah, that slider backed up on him a little bit, but he caught the inside corner. Watch right here. Hernandez wants him to be down and away. See that ball backs up, catches that inside portion. And Lawrence is frozen. And the Jay Johnson mound visit paid dividends. 4 straight strikes after Jay went to the mound to have a word with Shores and a big punch out when he needed it.
Hernandez is making his first start. He's from Trenton, New Jersey. He's making his first start in this series. And he comes to the plate swinging. He's hitting 148. This is his 9th start of the season. 4 for 27, and they've all been singles. There's the bender for a strike again. Now, when Shores is able to throw that for strikes along with the natural fastball heat, it gives the batter a lot to think about.
6 straight strikes by Chase Shores.
And the pitch. He tried the bender again and missed it. The runner is moving, a check swing, and the ball pops out of Hernandez's mitt. That surprises me a little bit that they would run down by 3 with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position.
Well, it's because Shores sort of lost track of him. You know, if you're going to steal third with 2 outs, you better be able to steal with no throw, and that's exactly what he did. Got the huge lead. LSU sort of ignored him, and he just took the base.
Well, now it's a 2-2 count. And that's a bit of a better swing by Jadier Hernandez. The 2-2 pitch. Flicked foul again. Everybody's getting beat up around the plate already.
Yeah, that was Eric Gaucher, the home plate umpire, wore that foul ball. Hernandez trying to give him a little time. Watch right here, a little ricochet shin guard of the umpire.
Two balls, two strikes, two outs. A runner at third base, a 4-1 on the RBI single by Tyler Macon in his first at bat in the series. LSU up by 4-1 as we approach the bottom of the second inning. Milam will have to hustle, and he makes the play nicely. Hernandez grounds out to the sure-handed Stephen Milam at shortstop. A run comes in on the RBI single by Tyler Macon in his first at bat in the series. LSU column. LSU has outscored its opponents this season 207-72, and the team ERA is in the middle of the pack in the SEC at 3.32. Ronnie, it's not ideal when your starting pitcher throws 40 times in the first inning, but that's what Caden Drew did. This will be pitch number 41.
Yeah, LSU was able to take advantage of a couple of Drew mistakes, and that's a little bit of the other side of the coin, Lynn. When you only throw in the mid-80s on your changeup, off speeds in the mid-70s, you have to be so perfect. Against these hitters these days, you make a mistake, elevate a pitch in the middle of the plate, you don't have a lot of margin for error because you don't throw 95, plus.
LSU sent 8 to the plate in the first inning. And if you just joined us, Ethan Fry drove in the first run with a double. Jake Brown, a batter later.
Pitch or anything, he threw one right down the middle, and Curiel's just too locked in right now to miss that one.
That makes him 3 for 9 in the series. Jared Jones takes a big cut and falls behind one strike. He struck out looking in the first. That's a long, loud foul. And Jones is down in the count, 0-2. LSU's ball girls may need to get busy between innings collecting the refuse which is blowing around in left field on the warning track.
Yeah, looks like Yankee Stadium in the 70s, huh?
Yeah.
The old at the Bronx, where the cups and the trash and all would blow on the field. Yeah, they got some on the warning track out there in left field.
Looks like a newspaper is out there as well. There's some of it.
No, nobody reads newspapers anymore, Lynn. They just watch it on their iPad.
I'm putting my hand up. So is Randy Hayden.
Well, no one under 50. I'm sorry. I meant to say that.
All right, that clarification certainly does make things a little more understandable.
It's an interesting mound visit here. You don't see that very often when a pitcher is ahead in the count 0-2 and you get a mound visit.
Some defensive lapses.
They've been better than those statistics this weekend, though.
They have.
Ooh.
That nicked the batter, Knutson.
And part of that being better is that guy right there, Knutson. He's been Mr. Positive. 2 homers yesterday, and then right here starts off the inning with a hit by pitch on a slider that gets away from him, and I don't think that ever touched him. As a matter of fact, it didn't. That ball went over the back and never touched him.
So Knutson is at first base. It's the second straight inning in which the Tigers of Missouri have advanced their leadoff hitter. And we go back to Goldbeck, the DH. He flied to left field to open the game. LSU's softball team has extended its lead. It's 3-0 in the top of the fourth inning against Kentucky.
Well, that
and
was
Macy Bergeron, who homered yesterday, hits a 2-run homer today.
a great catch by Jared Jones at first base on that 97-mile-an-hour, almost errant pickoff throw by Shores. He saved that runner from going all the way to third.
Well, Shores looks a little bit out of sync here, and maybe LSU's dugout realized the same thing. They send a couple of players down jogging toward that hidden bullpen. They always have to wait down there in the corner and decide when to run through fair ground to get down to the bullpen. Here comes a laggard.
Uh-oh. Rizzi, can he make it?
He's
Is
number
Rizzi
4.
going to make it?
He doesn't even stop. He ought to be ticketed for failing to yield.
That's a lot of man has to stop there. He's 6'9".
Hit back.
Coach here, maybe Yeski. You hit a hit by pitch that wasn't, but it was a good ouch job by Missouri, and then a walk.
He is the leading home run producer for Missouri. 2 more bullpen guys go jogging down to join their teammates. The pitch. Steve right. Cerna struck out in the first. In the lineup today, Missouri only has 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 14 home runs represented. Cerna has 4 of those. That helps. 2 strikes on Cerna. Caden Peer is on deck. Boy, that's a long train. It's still rolling along.
Ooh. Boy, that is an excellent pitch. Watch right here. 0-2. And that was off the plate. Yeah, that was the old-fashioned wave ball where you try to set up off the plate and see if the batter will chase or the ball might run back over the corner. You can see LSU intentionally trying to stay away from the pull side of Cerna because of that wind blowing out to right field, which is, I mean, anything in the air to right from off of a lefty bat is gonna go, and so you can't get hurt pitching away. Because Cerna does have some pop. He's got 4 homers on the year.
After 2 strikes, 2 misses outside.
Wow. This has been a weird inning for Shores. A hit by pitch, a walk, a balk. I guess he flinched his knee or something. He hitched. Yeah, it wasn't the glove. He just kind of hitched, flinched that front knee.
Let's take a look at this balk.
Watch his bottom half. He just
Right
sort of
there.
flinches
Yep.
right there when
Yep.
the runner breaks from second, a little fake break from second to third, and it caught him.
So that certainly was a legitimate balk call. And now the count is full on Cerna. After 2 strikes, Cerna hits the liner to Milam, and there is a much-needed out for LSU. That could have been trouble, but Milam was in the right place at the right time.
Well, credit Shores with a good, well-executed pitch. You know, on the 3-2, he got it in the location he wanted, and even though it was a liner, it was a soft liner, and LSU got a much-needed out.
First base remains unoccupied for Peer. He flied to right field last time. Daniels is on deck. Chase Shores to the plate. Smacked foul. Shores has struck out 2. He has walked 1. And he's hit a batter. That's a swing at the plate. Shores 0-2 on Peer.
Yep, Peer did go. The sophomore outfielder from Chesterfield, Missouri, one of 12 players on this Missouri roster from the home state.
Curiel backing up in a hurry. He's got it. That ball is hit deep enough to allow Goldbeck to score, or rather Knutson to score. And we've got a 4-2 ball game. A sacrifice fly by Caden Peer.
That was a good at bat by Peer. Down to 2 strikes, able to be productive and get that ball in the air.
2 runs, 2 hits for Missouri. 4 runs, 4 hits for LSU. Daniels had one of the hits earlier and scored a run in the second inning. Goldbeck at second base. Two outs. Check swing foul. Four in the first for LSU, 1 in the second, and another one here in the third for Missouri. Lovich is on deck.
Okay, well, I don't know what the call is there. I think they're going to give a ball here.
I thought he awarded an offensive time.
Okay, so we think maybe offensive time. Okay. I wish they would do the microphone like in the big leagues where they explain the rulings. There is an umpire in the group that has a microphone for the replays, and they'll explain the replays. There you see, that's your first base umpire today, who's got the microphone. That is Danny Cricks. Or was that Jeff Head? I'm not sure which. Well, it was either first or second base umpire we showed. They have the mic.
Well, Cricks is the first base umpire. Head is at second. Matthew Wilbanks is working third.
And they'll explain after any replays, but which we haven't had one today.
The 2-2 pitch. Ooh, very tight.
How did that not hit him? Looked like it went through him.
Goldbeck takes a healthy lead from second base. Shores is worried about the batter. The 3-2 pitch. Inside, and the inning continues.
Chase Shores with back-to-back off-speed pitches. 2-2 and 3-2.
And here comes the angular Jackson Lovich, who grounded out to shortstop last time.
Jackson Lovich.
Lovich is working on a 10-game hitting streak for Missouri. He grounded out to his counterpart in his first at bat. There's a strike.
And remember, Lovich has some power the other way. On Friday, he hit an opposite field homer to right field, and that is where the wind is blowing big time today.
And it was a vibrant home run. There is not even a wisp of meringue in the sky right now. The 0-2 pitch. Dribbled foul. The crowd is clapping and stomping, trying to send out encouragement to Shores. He's ahead in the count 0-2, and the big fellow delivers with a runner at second base. That is a sweeper, and it's very wide. Lovich carries a .3 average to the plate with 3 homers. This is the Lovich becomes strikeout victim number 3, but 190-pound senior Submariner. He'll come from the side and farther down below. And Lovett making his 5th appearance. His record is 0-1 with a 5 ERA. Over the course of 9 innings, he has struck out 7 and walked 3. And so Lovett replaces Caden Drew.
Now, the thing about Xavier Lovett is he's a submarine thrower, Lynn, but he doesn't not throw hard. I mean, he's going to be around 90 miles an hour in the low 90s, and you don't see that very often from downstairs. So that's going to be a unique look for these LSU hitters because they don't have anybody on their team that can simulate that. They practice against it. So to see it sidearm Submarine in the 90s is going to be quite the challenge. Now, he's a guy previously was at Memphis with Carrick Jackson. He was, and Coach Jamison, that was his pitching coach there. He made his way over to Missouri when they did. He started off his career signed with Texas A&M.
Daniel Dickinson, Ethan Fry, and Stephen Milam are the scheduled 3 hitters. We'll see if the Tigers start inserting left-handed swingers against this knuckle scraper.
Lovett started off his career at Mississippi State 2020 and 21, and then he was at Texas A&M in 22 before spending the 23 season at Memphis.
So this is his 3rd SEC school?
Exactly. It's pretty standard these days for guys to go to 3 or 4 schools.
One ball, one strike. Lovett certainly gives the Tigers a different look and one you cannot simulate. And you're right, he does throw hard. That was 93.5. So he's not a frisbee thrower from sidearm and farther down. The 1-2 pitch.
That got him. Dickinson hit again, 2nd time today.
What's that, number 12 for him?
12th on the year, which leads the team.
LSU has had 7 base runners now. Ethan Fry cranked a double and an RBI last time. The runner is moving. He had a huge jump. That would have been a stolen base easily had Fry on the hit and run not fouled it off.
Yeah,
Dickinson was way off the bag.
Yeah, that's hard as a hitter. You know, you get the signal for a hit and run. It's hard to like peek out of the corner of your eye, see he's easily got it, and don't swing. It's almost impossible.
And it might not have been a hit and run.
was over the Lamar sign. It was impressive.
This is hit sharply. An out at second, but the relay is not in time. Lawrence had a little bit of trouble getting it out of his glove. And by the time he pitched it to Lovich for the force out at second base, there was no
run really well.
This brings on Hernandez. Going back to that home run by Jake Brown, you know it's going to be a long ball when right off the bat the people in the bleachers start turning around and looking to see how far it might clear that bleacher, and that one did. It landed up on the stucco roof on the Marucci Performance Center building. Hernandez is waiting. He had a base hit back in the first. Strike. Hernandez is 2 for 9 in the series. His other hit was a home run. Second baseman is playing Hernandez perfectly. Lawrence makes the play himself for the out. But the Tigers get an RBI ground out or fielder's choice from Stephen Milam, scoring Dickinson, who was hit by a pitch. And LSU matches the Missouri run in the third and holds on to its 3-run lead. And likely to fall out of the top 25 is at number 19 this week, and Auburn is at number 25. That's a lineup every weekend. That's at least the equivalent of a regional final, if not a super regional, if not a College World Series matchup. Tyler Macon from Kirkwood, Missouri is at the plate. He had a base hit and an RBI in the second inning. This is the first start he's made in this series, and up for the second time in the series.
In the fourth inning, still with plenty of petrol. 71 pitches.
Trey Lawrence looked as though he wanted a bunt, lets it pass wide.
LSU would love to see Shores give him 5. You know, I don't think you're going to see him in any way, shape, or form throw more than about 100 pitches at the most.
LSU used 5 pitchers yesterday.
Arm slot sort of drooped right there that time. That's when you're a big guy and you're 6'8". That's the hardest thing. It's just that consistency with your mechanics and the release point. Especially you mix in still a couple years removed from surgery, and not that he's not physically healthy, but you know you'll have those little bobbles over the first year.
The muscle memory is not quite what you
want. Just being consistent, especially when you get tired.
He finds a strike zone on a 3-0 pitch. Velocity easing down a little bit, but still plenty enough. That makes the count full. He struck out Macon. He's got a 3-2 delivery coming against Lawrence. Lawrence fanned in the second inning. And he lost him.
Well, LSU does have Connor Ware at number 55 getting hot in the LSU bullpen. But there are a couple of righties in a row here. But at the top of the lineup, when things start to turn over, then that's where you'll see some lefties.
Ware was the winning pitcher in relief last night.
This is the 8th hole hitter, Hernandez, the catcher, and then the 9-hole Knutson, who homered twice, is on deck. And then after that, you have three of the next 4 batters are left-handed. So if you make a change, that would make the sense to do it.
Shores has struck out 4. He has walked 3 and hit a batter. He has only allowed 2 hits. And they both. Dickinson is running a long way, but he can't get to it. Neither can Jake Brown in right field. And a flare drops.
Needed punch out, and looks like that may have earned him an opportunity to stay in the game with 2 outs.
He's got 5 strikeouts, 2 of them in this inning, and 1 to close out the 3rd. Goldbeck at the top of the order has flied to left field and walked. Lawrence and Hernandez are the base runners with 2 outs. The tying run at the plate for Missouri. The big right-hander looks at second base, kicks and fires. He pops the mitt but misses. That's a strike in the downward portion of the zone. Two outs, 2 on, a 1-2 count to Gehrig's a liner to left field. This is going to be trouble. It's cut off near the foul line by Curiel, and one Tiger scores, another one loses his cap. And Missouri has been resilient the last 3 innings with a marker in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, and that's a really good job of hitting.
300, one of their best players, has excellent speed as well. And I told you, I mean, Missouri's just their numbers coming into the series offensively have not been very good, but this weekend they have fought and just keep scrapping away, and here they are, just 2 runs down.
Connor Ware is going to get the hand and glove check, and he's next for LSU. So Shores does not get out of the 4th inning, and Connor Ware is the next pitcher for the Tigers. LSU leading 5-3. And this left-hander earned the win last night. You see his numbers for the season. This is appearance number 6. He's 2-0, an ERA of about 6.5. He's worked 11 innings. He has given up 5 walks, but he has struck out 17. Last night, he went an inning and a 1/3, did not walk a batter, did not allow a base hit, and struck out 2.
And he threw 21 pitches. So I mean, that's a good number of pitches to come back the very next day, and when guys aren't really used to doing that at this point in the season. So curious to see him.
In second. Here's Cerna.
Cerna is a switch hitter.
Yep. They list him as a right-handed hitter on the roster, but clearly he bats from both sides. He has struck out and lined out to Milo.
Garrett Jackson calling an offensive timeout to talk to his hitter.
You know, Ronnie, I would not have thought that what I'm about to say is true, but that was the 25th wild pitch of the season for LSU, and that's the most in the SEC. You wouldn't have thought that, though, at the outset, would you?
Well, the first 2 weeks, they were really locked in. Low walk numbers, low wild pitch numbers. Since then, it's been a little bit high at times.
1-1 on Cerna. Hernandez could not stop the first one, but he managed to keep that one in play. Pierre is on deck, 2 outs. And Hernandez and Goldbeck are in scoring position.
Darren Maverick Rizzi is moving around, tossing down that LSU pen.
There's an off-speed pitch. That was a dandy. That's a backbreaker.
He got the feel for that changeup, didn't he? After spiking a couple that time. Perfect.
Cerna
is going to be special. To blue blood programs. You think back to college baseball over the last 50 years. Those are two at the top, really. Texas and LSU.
Braswell, Stanfield, and Curriell, 8, 9, and 1 in the order, are scheduled to hit against Xavier Lovett. Lovett came on to start the third inning and gave up 1 run. He hit the first batter, and then later Stephen Milam had an RBI fielder's choice. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Missouri. No errors, 5 hits, and 5 runs for LSU. Ronnie, as we sit here directly behind home plate on a gorgeous day in Baton Rouge and watch SEC baseball, when you just let your ears do the referencing, and by that I mean just slow down, don't talk, listen to the buzz, the natural aura of a ballpark. It's soothing, it's relaxing, it's like a tranquilizer. You hear the ping of the bat. You hear that concessionaire trying to sell everything he or she has. You might hear the umpire, you might hear the dugout chatter. You hear the buzz of the crowd as people from all walks of life enjoy a game together. This is a foul ball. Two balls, 2 strikes on Braswell. Do you need a Kleenex now?
Am I okay to talk? I was just going to I wanted people to hear the sounds. That was beautiful.
I have a handkerchief if you
need it. I
felt
like I was listening to the movie Field of Dreams, and you were like James Earl Jones. So we're going to start calling you Lynn Earl Jones. That was so beautifully said.
That's a heck of a compliment. I'll take it. But you know me, and we've been doing this a long time together. You know I meant every word of that.
Absolutely. You love it. We both do. You're just more, your wife is a librarian.
Right.
And you named your daughter after the famous author.
Yeah.
So therefore.
Robert Frost.
Yeah, absolutely. So therefore.
Now, I didn't name her
Robert. With your words.
I didn't name her Robert. I named her Frost.
Braswell at the plate. He had such a big night last night. A rare 2 bunts, 2 squeezes, a suicide. Struggled offensively, average below 200 coming into this weekend, and it seems like he has found his footing. And remember, Lash knows how to turn it on when the lights are big, and he's doing that this weekend.
And what he was able to do, as was illustrated in that replay, got those hands in and then pushed the barrel of the bat out and shot it to right field.
Yesterday he had a base hit, his third at bat. He had a base hit RBI, and he got it on the 9th pitch of the at bat. That was the 9th pitch of that at bat as well.
This brings on Stanfield, who struck out in his only other at bat. This is the first time he's faced Lovett. The side wheeling and submarine delivery. That's in on the hands. LSU leading by 2. Missouri has scored a single run in each of the last 3 innings. The Tigers exploded for 4 in the first and then matched Missouri's 3rd inning run. Another hit batter.
That's the third one today for LSU. I know Dickinson
Yes, it
twice.
is. Yes, it is.
It's incredible how LSU is such a magnet for hit by pitches. That's the 38th time this year they have been plunked by a pitch in just 20-plus games.
LSU has put 3 of its first 4 leadoff hitters on base, and a couple of times they have scored. They've got another chance to get a run here.
Curiel tried to bunt right there, but not really a sacrifice. He sort of tried to bunt for a base hit.
He has walked and scored and had a single in the second inning. He gets the bunt down. The only play is at first base. And Lovett is able to sling it over there. That was not an easy play by the pitcher, but he got the out. That'll go as a sacrifice.
Yeah, Lovett wanted to go to the third, but Knutson didn't read this ball that great. Right here, this ball's bunted hard, and Lovett does a great job of fielding on the mound, but Knutson couldn't make it back to the bag in time, so instead he fired to first to get the out. Well done by both teams.
Now there are options here for Missouri. First base is open. Jared Jones has struck out and bounced into a double play.
Oh, that'll go down as a double for Dickinson, and what a day he's had. He's reached base every single time he's been up to the plate, been hit by a pitch a couple of times, and then that time was going to take the single, but when the center field.
Ethan Fry has had a good day. An RBI double and a run scored and a base hit last time. Lovett shakes off a sign. You hardly see that these days in college ball. Runner is away, and there will be no throw. There was absolutely no attention paid at all to Dickinson.
Yeah, Fry did a good job. It's actually a 1-1. Fry takes this pitch for a strike because he sees out of the corner of his eye Dickinson had that base stolen all the way. He got a tremendous jump. Lovett lost track of him at second base, and Fry, with a 1-0 count, took the fastball for a strike.
Hernandez had to save that one, lunging to his left. You don't face side-wheeling and submarine pitchers very much these days on any level. Two balls, 2 strikes on LSU's designated hitter. Fry reaches for one. That'll come down in foul ground. The Tigers won on Friday 12-5, 7-6 yesterday in a back-and-forth game. And they own a 7-3 lead right here.
LSU doing damage with 2 outs here. Monster swinging that camo Marucci bat. No let up. Jake Brown coming to bat, and you see a visit from the pitching coach Tim Jamison.
Let's move our attention briefly to the softball diamond. LSU's softball team is leading Kentucky in the bottom of the 6th inning. 4-1 is the score. Kentucky has 3 outs with which to work offensively to avoid the sweep. The Tigers won the first 2 games. Bergeron has homered again for the Tigers. That's the second consecutive game in which she has hit one out of the ballpark. LSU 4-1, bottom of the 6th inning against Kentucky in Tiger Park.
Brief visit from Tim Jamison, who'll make his way back. Jamison, by the way, played at UNO in the late 70s, early 80s, and was on the coaching staff for the UNO Privateers when they became the first ever team from the state of Louisiana to go to the College World Series.
So he played under Maestri.
1984, he played under Maestri and coached for a number of years in the 80s under Ron Maestri.
With Ron Maestri, okay. New Orleans will be an opponent coming up for the LSU Tigers in a midweek game. That's Tuesday. Jake Brown had a long home run in the first inning and reached on a fielder's choice last time. He's 1 for 2.
Yeah, Jake Brown, I mean, like a lot of these Tigers, has made such a step forward offensively. I mean, the next 3 outfielders for LSU could start for anybody in the country, and that ball, even though it's an out, was a super loud one.
So Brown is retired, and we move on. LSU has added to its lead, 3 in the 4th. That gives the Tigers of LSU an 8-3 advantage over Missouri. Well, I was going to include you in everything, you know.
Thank you.
Caroline, who is a construction management student at LSU, was kind enough to write us and tell us that my reference to the balls that have been hit on the roof of the Marucci Performance Center are not stucco. That is not a stucco roof, according to Caroline. It is either terracotta or Spanish tile, she corrects us. So we stand corrected, Ronnie. I stand corrected.
I'm pretty sure it's terracotta. I'm not a construction management student, but I'm a fan of Cribs Incorporated, so you know, there you go.
Well, you know, Cade Beloso majored in that, I believe, so he could tell us, the former Tiger.
That's right, he did.
But Caroline, we hope we have done justice and found the truth. It's either terracotta or Spanish tile, according to a listener, a viewer, who is majoring in construction management at LSU.
On a couple of really good change-ups, and now with back-to-back lefties coming up to bat for Missouri, still in the ball game.
Pierre is from Chesterfield, Missouri, and he hits a drive to deep center field. Stanfield is retreating and now hooking to his left, and he's got it for the out. He's speedy out there in center field, and he reads the ball well.
Hard to hit the ball in the air to left or center with the way the wind is just absolutely howling towards right field. Pierre hit that ball well, but it was knocked down immediately.
Brock Daniels comes to the plate. He's been aboard twice, the first by a base hit, and he scored, and he walked last time. Did you say you were going with terracotta? I just want to be consistent.
Well, I just got a text from Cade Beloso who said it looks like Spanish tile, so I'm going to go with him. I'm just going to let you talk about what type of tile it is. I'm going to keep my opinions to myself.
I think I'm done. But we do appreciate the input for sure. Nothing in the world like LSU baseball fans all over the country. You can't give up on those balls that look like they're going to be on the roof or in the net because they blow back toward the field, especially from left to right. Connor Ware to the plate. Fouled off. You know, congratulations to Cade Beloso. He and his wife expecting their first child.
Oh, that's awesome. One of the heroes of the 2023 season, that's for sure.
No question.
And a guy who actually will be in St. Bernard Parish tonight, which is where he is from. He received an award at the St. Bernard Parish Sports Hall of Fame years ago. I'm going there tonight. They're honoring Tommy Chrysant, a long time, for the Sports Broadcaster Award from St. Bernard Parish.
This ball is popped up. Nobody can get to it. I mean, 4 of the 5 infielders were converging on it. It wound up on the right side. Nobody could locate it and get under it and make a defense. And 5 hits have been allowed by Rizzi. They've all been one-base hits.
Still a long ways to go in this ball game.
Yeah.
And LSU, as you mentioned, used 5 hurlers yesterday. And Connor Ware was one of those guys. He's already out of the ball game. So Tigers are going to have some folks step up out of that bullpen, and they're hoping to get a few outs here from the big freshman, Maverick Rizzi. They think the world of this young man, and the future is super bright, but it's also right now. They need him to hold Missouri at bay.
Daniels was hit by a pitch. He's at first base with 1 out. Rizzi's first pitch is almost 95 miles an hour and flicked back foul. They're in the 7th inning at Tiger Park. LSU has extended its softball lead. It's 8-1 now over Kentucky. Bergeron and Edwards have hit back-to-back home runs. That's the 3rd home run for Bergeron in the last 2 games. And the 2nd one for Edwards in the last 2 games. Bergeron with a couple of homers today and 5 RBI. And LSU in good shape in the 7th, leading 8-1 over Kentucky.
Rizzi last pitched on Tuesday against Xavier of Ohio. He went 1 1/3 innings, walked 1, didn't give up anything else.
Brown is chasing it, but that's out of reach. That's hit sharply. Oh, what a play by Dickinson to Milam. Back to first. Got them both. That was slick.
That was slick on both fronts. The scoop by Dickinson on the hot shot, and then Milam.
A very high ERA of 13.5, 2 2/3 innings, 4 hits allowed, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, and he surrendered 6 hits in 2 2/3 innings.
And transfer from Iowa Central Community College. That was an excellent job by Maverick Rizzi coming out of the bullpen, getting a double play. The Tigers needed it. Kind of shut down that threat at all by Missouri and hold a 5-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th. The way this LSU team is swinging the bat this past week, Lynn, they have been very balanced throughout, not just 1 or 2 guys. It's the entire lineup. Remember, on Tuesday they had 18 hits in a shortened game against Xavier, and then They've just been on a roll this weekend as well.
LSU has scored 12, 7, and 8 to this point in the 3 games against Missouri. Luis Hernandez has 1 for 2 to his credit tonight, or this afternoon more properly. Kirchhoff misses high. He works from the stretch without base runners and twists that one in for a strike. Kirchhoff working ahead. That's fouled straight back. Hernandez looks a lot more comfortable at the plate to me over the last couple of weeks. How about you?
Well, he's getting a chance to play more consistently. They've kind of settled on him being their main guy, and I feel like everything's kind of settled down. The catching part, the defensive part, and the offense. He looks much more confident. Look at the wind. Wow.
That started out near first base and wound up well up into the bleachers. I love it when one of the youngsters runs down a foul ball and that grin gets wider and wider. It looks like he swallowed a coat hanger. And those eyes get big, and that euphoria of collecting a LSU college baseball souvenir. And those things will be with him forever, probably. The 2-2 pitch. Hit very high in the air. Let's watch what the wind does to this. Here comes the left fielder. Here's that. Back goes the shortstop. And look at that play.
That is crazy. Off the bat, you're thinking, well, that ball's hit well to left. It ends up about 10 feet beyond the dirt. Look at this.
And watch the left fielder here.
The left fielder's camping under it and then sprinting, and the shortstop ends up catching it 10, 15 feet out on the grass.
And Pierre was also in on the play from center field.
Amazing.
Here's Braswell. Braswell has reached on a fielder's choice, singled and scored. Ball 1. Kirchhoff facing his second batter in relief. Braswell does not offer, and he's ahead in the count, 2-0. LSU gave up runs in the second, third, and fourth innings. They were 1-run frames for Missouri. Tigers have had a couple of crooked number frames, 4 in the first and 3 in the fourth, to go along with 1 in the third. LSU will play New Orleans at 6:30 on Tuesday. We'll have it right here for you on the SEC ESPN network. Braswell out of Mableton, Georgia. That's off the plate. Braswell is aboard for the third time if you count the fielder's choice.
What's that, 6 times in the last 2 days he's reached base?
I think so.
That's tremendous production from your 8-hole hitter.
Here's Stanfield. He has struck out and been hit by a pitch. Strike one. That breaking ball eases its way off the plate. The softball game has concluded at Tiger Park. LSU sweeps Kentucky. The final today, 8-2. Sidney Berzon is now 12-0 in the circle. Macy Bergeron had 2 home runs and 5 driven in. Torrey Edwards had a home run and 2 RBI. Both of them also homered yesterday. And LSU wins the series and opens its SEC competition with a 3-0 record as it knocks off Kentucky Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Tiger Park.
Stanfield struck out on a high fastball. See if with Curiel at the plate, maybe LSU tries to do something. Braswell not a big base stealer over there at first base. With 2 outs, you never know.
Curiel continues his streak of reaching base in every game. He's done it twice today. He has walked, singled, and had a sacrifice bunt. The second baseman has to put it in his pocket as he ran a long way to his left and then tumbled to get that ground ball. There was no throw to first, and Curiel is 2 for 3.
And that to Curiel's list of things he does well. He also runs extremely well, so no chance to get him at first.
Curiel leads the LSU Tigers now in batting average. 2 hits today, 443 right now. Here's Jones, the other 400 hitter. He's at 405 right now. He's 0 for 3 today. Strikeout. He bounced into a double play and had an RBI ground out last time. He is the team leader in RBI. The count is 1-0. Now 1-1 with 2 outs, 2 aboard. LSU is trying to score for the 3rd straight inning and the 4th time in 5 frames. Good speed on the base paths in Braswell and Curiel. The pitch. Two and one. That wind has not subsided the entire day.
Got him.
That hits Jones, a breaking pitch which had no bite to it.
Slider backed up on him, got him right there on that shoulder blade. That's not a good feeling. smokes.
And the Tigers have been hit 4 times by pitches today. Jones and Stanfield once each. Dickinson twice. And that's who's at the plate right now. He also has doubled in a run. He has scored 3 times. He's 1 for 1. The Tigers are FOT. There's a Tiger on every base. Full of Tigers. 2 outs.
Mistake by Missouri. LSU will take it. Fastball away.
And the Tigers have a 6-run advantage as they seek a sweep.
Okay, I think they're going to have a conversation with Carrick Jackson that he has to make a pitching change here because he had too many visits. Now Carrick Jackson went to the mound, had a conversation, was walking back to the dugout, and the third base umpire was Matthew Wilbanks. I watched him. He started to walk to the bullpen. He's counting. But then Jay Johnson went out and had a word with the coaches, with the umpires as well. So now he's got to bring in a pitcher who's not loose. Whoever he brings in from the bullpen has thrown maybe 2-3 pitches before he's come into the game.
Yeah, that's it. Now that pitcher is looking around saying, wait, who, me? I'm not ready.
Yeah. I've seen this happen a few times over the years, not very often, where you get a little bobble like this and all of a sudden the guy's got to go throw 6 warm-up throws and pitch in the game.
So this is a goof on the part of Missouri as they lost count, apparently, of the trips to the mound and the requirements that come with that. And now a guy is jogging in who has only taken up 2 or 3 warm-up tosses at the most. We'll take a break here and be back to sort it all out for you. LSU 9, Missouri 3 as we continue from Baton Rouge.
So James Vaughn, fastball in the low 90s. You see just a little bit of work, 6 2/3 innings, 11 Ks. That's a lot. 3 walks, but the ERA a little high. And I'm just curious to see what the velocity and the command is like for James Vaughn, because he did not get an opportunity to warm up down in the bullpen. He's getting his warm-up pitches here on the mound.
Missouri apparently miscalculated the number of visits, and they didn't want to have to make the move at this moment, but they're required to.
Yeah, after 6 visits, and the visits can also be player visits and all that.
Sure.
After 6 visits, you have to make a pitching change each time you go to the mound. And the umpires knew it right away, and then Jay Johnson also went out to confirm.
So Ethan Fry waits. And the first pitch slides in for a strike. The bases are loaded, 2 outs, including a couple of runs batted in. Brown 1 for 3. That one was a 2-run home run. 7 runners left on base. LSU with a 6-run advantage as we go to the 6th. And we are in the final game of this 3-game series. Tyler Macon leads it off. And he falls behind 0-2. Maverick Rizzi, the big youngster from Massachusetts, replaced Connor Ware and came on and got a couple of outs.
Sweeping breaking ball from the big 6'9" righty. And then all of a sudden he takes the air out of the balloon and throws an excellent breaking ball down at the knees.
LSU is in control with a 6-run advantage. The 10-run rule after 7 innings is standard throughout the SEC. Over, and Jones stretches as far as he can toward right field and plucks it for the out.
You know, you talked about earlier in the game LSU defensively, how good they are this year in the field. And think about it, you've got 3 shortstops really playing in the middle infield. I mean, Dickinson has spent time in the fall over at shortstop and has played it as well. Braswell, of course, played shortstop last year. Milam in his entire life except last season. And then you throw in an outfield that has probably 3 center fielders, you know, out there. So yeah, LSU is ahead of the game defensively.
Nothing beats Paul Maneri's World Championship team, though, where they had 9 former high school quarterbacks on the roster. You remember that team?
Yeah, they outstanding talent and athleticism on that roster. Number of major leaguers. Speaking of one of those guys, Mikey Matuk, saw him at the ballpark Friday night.
This will be a tough play, but it's tracked down by Derek Curiel as he got a good jump on it and hustled to his left in the gap to make the galloping grab. So Rizzi has faced 4 batters and recorded 5. Hernandez against James Vaughn. Milam is 1 for 2. He has been on base now in 15, make it 14 consecutive games. That's a strike. That levels the count. Every Tiger in the starting lineup has been on base tonight. Milam right now hitting .365 with 5 homers, 24 driven in. He's had 5 other extra base hits, 4 doubles and a triple.
Of all the impressive stats about Stephen Milam, and you named a bunch, and he's only got 2 strikeouts this year. To me, that's the one that is incredible, considering he has played and started in every game, has over 80 plate appearances, and only 2 strikeouts.
Have they been 1 each from the left side and right side? Do we know that?
That's way next level information that I don't have handy.
But 2 strikeouts, you're right, and all the plate appearances is just remarkable.
And as good as he is offensively, and there's another walk, his .365 average, which would be usually good enough to be the best on any team, it's 5th best on this LSU team so far. So that shows you the depth that the Tigers have offensively right now.
Jake Brown brings his WAR club to the plate. He homered in the first inning. Since then has reached on a couple of fielder's choices. Strike 1. Vaughn with a long stretch, and he beats Brown that time.
89 miles an hour. Brown a little bit aggressive, that ball way out of the zone.
And you've got to be careful if you're Cerna because you can't block the base. You know, you'd get the obstruction call. So he's got to set up a step or so closer to the plate to give the base runner a clear path back to the base. LSU trying to steal a run here. 1 ball, 1 strike to Braswell. He's 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. That's a good breaking pitch. We've seen a couple of them from Bond.
That's definitely his go-to. The Columbia University transfer. It's not a common route.
No.
Columbia University to the SEC to play baseball.
Two outs, a runner at second base. A 2-2 count to Michael Braswell. Stanfield is on deck. Milam walked and then stole second. I believe that was his first stolen base of the year. It was. Three and two. Lawrence over to first base for the out. The Tigers leave a runner. We move forward. The 7th inning coming your way next. LSU 9 and Missouri 3 on the SEC ESPN network. Here's Keegan Knutson. What a night he had last night, his first 2 home runs of the season. He has been hit by a pitch and struck out today. Rizzi, who came out of the bullpen to replace Connor Ware. And Chase Shores got the start. He was lifted after 3 2/3 innings.
Well, Maverick Rizzi has really looked sharp. He looks like he's sort of found his rhythm and definitely has found a really good slider. You know, the story on Maverick Rizzi, he actually...
Milam takes the chest-high bounce. There's the dart over to first.
Rizzi originally was committed to the University of Connecticut, and he actually played in the 2003 High School Baseball National Championship tournament for Team Massachusetts that you and I did the broadcast on. Jay Johnson picked him up after that tournament, flipped his commitment to LSU, and it's an annual high school championship series that's played every year after the College World Series. And Rizzi, I remember we did one of the games, and I remember seeing him and thinking he's not going to probably end up at the University of Connecticut. Didn't know at the time he'd become a Tiger, but he was too good at 16 years old or so.
Here's Goldbeck from Kansas City, and a strike from Rizzi. Goldbeck has flied to left, he has walked, and he has an RBI single. LSU is in command with a 6-run lead in the 7th. That's 2 in a row, wide, and the count is full. Maverick John Rizzi. He had a brother who played college baseball at Bryant University. And Rizzi, as you might expect, was a forward on his high school basketball team. Ronnie, one of his hobbies is woodworking.
It's another ouch for Hernandez off the same thing, right off of the same left forearm. Might need to work on that form a little bit.
Do you remember a right-handed pitcher who threw for 13 years in the big leagues by the name of Alex Cobb?
I do.
He is the nephew of Alex Cobb. Rizzi is.
Okay.
Cobb pitched for the Rays, the Orioles, the Angels, the Giants, and the Guardians over the course of 13 years.
Well, you can definitely see a path to Maverick Rizzi being a big leaguer one day. That's about as obvious as anything you could ever see with the frame.
The 3-2 pitch. Off the mark. That's the first walk from LSU relief pitchers.
Now we're going to see a new hurler, DJ Primo, who's I think he's pitched in every game in this series. He's coming in the ball game.
This would be his third straight appearance. And so we will take a pitching change timeout. Cerna is the next hitter. LSU leads Missouri 9-3.
Average of an inning through 13 pitches, didn't give up anything, struck out one, and then on yesterday he threw 2/3 of an inning, walked a batter, threw a total of 14 pitches, and didn't give up any runs. So he's done a nice job through his 2 appearances this weekend, and we'll see if he can make it a hat trick, 3 for 3.
He has averaged less than an inning per outing.
They brought him in the game to turn Cerna around. Cerna, who's a switch hitter, from the left side, he's batting .333. From the right side, he's hitting under .300. So you gain about 35 points flipping Cerna from left to right, and that's why Primo's in there.
And I think Primo has some sort of equipment difficulty. Going to have to change the batteries or something.
Yeah, that doesn't have his...
I mean, it's way too complicated these days.
It's pitch calm, I guess.
The umpire calls safe.
I guess the old 1-2-3 is just...
No.
We're way past that, Lynn.
We're way past that.
We need either the pitch calm in the ear that tells you what the pitch is, or the watch.
I've always thought the catcher should have an LED display. LSU looking for its 15th consecutive win. And Ronnie, if it gets it, that would be the longest since 2017. The Tigers won 17 in a row during that season. And you and I recall the all-time record. That was in 2008. 23 consecutive wins during midseason.
Yeah, and Buzzy Heidel, who's doing the radio color today for the LSU Sports Radio Network, was on that team. And LSU fans remember 2006 was Smoke Laval's last year. Tigers didn't make the NCAA tournament. 2007, Coach Paul Maneri's first year. They didn't make the tournament. And halfway through the 08 season, Tigers were below 500 by a lot in SEC play. And it looked like postseason wasn't going to happen again for the 3rd straight year. And then all of a sudden, they figured it out, went on that miracle 23-game win streak in the heart of the season, the toughest part, at the end and into the postseason, and ended up in the College World Series.
And then, of course,
carried
the championship the next year. 1-2 on Cerna. He takes a close pitch, and that levels the count. Primo. Ground ball. Look at that play by Milam. My goodness. Put double stars by that play. Milam with a miraculous save and put out at second base as he shoveled it backhand over to Dickinson. Let's watch this a couple of times.
Yeah, and I tell you, Dickinson was reaching for that ball.
Well, both of them turned into Inspector Gadget on that play. That is so sweet to watch.
I don't know why I said green square. They're all circles, but you got my point.
We do understand, yeah. We understand Mr. Twister. Gracious, that was a pretty play.
Could you imagine playing Twister now? It would be 2 spins and you'd be falling down at this point.
Oh, I don't know that I could. I don't know I could even open the box to get the game out. LSU is developing something really, really special with the 2 middle infielders.
They really have formed they have quite the chemistry. You know, they've made some spectacular plays on both sides of the bag, and
that
look like they've been playing together for
pre-conference
years.
tournament over in Texas, they were shining very brightly. Milam at shortstop, Dickinson at second base. That's a little bit off the plate outside.
Perfectly executed by Primo. It just missed.
3-2, 2 outs.
Even better take.
Ball 4. Against them, at least numerically. Yes, the numbers and the analytics play a huge part in it, but Jay Johnson still uses his intuition. Swing and a miss on a bender. Brock Daniels at the plate. Daniels has a base hit. He has walked and been hit by a pitch. He's 1 for 1. We play in the top of the 7th. The 1-2 pitch. Whacked foul back into the net. LSU took control early with a 4 spot in the first inning. And it has maintained that lead and extended it to 6 right now. That's popped up and it will not be playable. The 1-2. A little bit inside.
Primo trying to go away, misses back in. That's off the plate. Crowd wanted it, but that's clearly a ball.
And the 2-2 pitch. This one is steered outside, and we go to 3-2. The runners will be moving. Well, you've said it 1,000 times over the years, Ronnie. Walks are the only way you can get back into a game when there's a deficit this big.
Threw a strike that time, 89 with the fastball down in the zone.
It's very difficult to overcome a 6-run deficit by base hits alone. But if you throw in some walks, maybe an error, then certainly the hits you are able to manufacture are.
They just keep chipping away and battling each at bat.
And LSU makes another pitching change. It's been sharp, and he has struck out 21 in 16 innings. He has allowed only 9 hits. He's been very, very good out of the bullpen.
Yeah, the Wofford transfer was excellent a year ago. He's been very good for the Tigers, and as you pointed out, the 19 strikeouts and 2 walks will play at any level, and that's exactly what LSU needs right now. With a 5-run lead, they just want somebody that's going to pound the strike zone. The longest he's gone this year is 3 innings. He did that twice against Southern back in February and against Dallas Baptist. So he's got enough here in the tank to finish the game out if he's throwing strikes.
He's made 1 appearance in the series, working an inning and a third, and struck out a couple of batters. No hits nor runs allowed. Lovich at the plate, trying to bring his team a little closer. He's got 2 teammates in scoring position. Lovich is looking for his first base hit. He is a capable hitter. And that's a check swing strike. Lovich today has grounded out to short, struck out, and bounced into a 4-6-3 double play. The infield has retreated. It's very deep on the dirt. Lovett waves and misses a good off-speed pitch.
Hold the string on that changeup. That's his money pitch. I mean, he's going to throw it a ton. He can throw it at any point in time in the order, any count. That straight change is deadly.
That was another one. It levels the count at 2. A run in. A couple of Missouri Tigers on the base paths. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jackson Lovich. Now we go to 3-2. Ball 4, a rare walk from Zach Cowan, and the bases are loaded.
21 strikeouts this season, now 3 walks for Cowan. And for the Tigers,
I got him for at least 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 walks, and half of those have come from the relievers.
6 walks, and they've hit a batter.
Yep, hit a couple.
So 8 free passes allowed so far in this game by Tiger pitching.
That was a problem last night in the win. Missouri with a lot of base runners that got there without the help of a base hit. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tyler Macon from Kirkwood, Missouri. Cowan rocks and fires. Swing and a miss. Ronnie, this is a new place for Zach Cowan. It's the first time he's pitching with the bases loaded this year. The crowd is sending out encouragement. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Macon at the plate. A call, third strike. Cowan slips over an off-speed pitch. Make it. Yeah, but they weren't throwing 95 either. P.J. Green is a freshman. He's the next pitcher for Missouri out of Tyrone, Georgia. It's his first appearance in the series. It's his 5th appearance overall. Only 7 1/3 innings, walks 3, struck out 3, ERA of 1.23. And he's allowed 9 hits in those 7 1/3 innings.
Green is a true freshman out of Sandy Creek High School in Georgia. 90 to 95, somewhere in there is the range. They really think got a tremendous upside. Slider, tremendous athlete.
Both teams have used 5 pitchers. Stanfield is the first hitter for the Tigers. Chris has struck out, been hit by a pitch, and struck out again. Most everybody knows Chris Stanfield had a nice season last year at Auburn. What you may not know, Ronnie, he was a member of the 2024 SEC Community Service Team. So congratulations to second base.
The run for the out. I mean, the out for the run, no question.
So that reestablishes a 6-run lead for LSU. The Tigers have scored 12, 7, and 10 runs in the 3 games to this point. Jones leads LSU with 7 home runs. Dickinson is 1 behind that, and Milam is in 3rd place with 5.
He's got a hitter's count here, 3-1 against a young freshman pitcher who's thrown primarily all fastballs, and so Jones is just going to be sitting on one particular pitch.
Knutson throws it over to first base, and Jones is retired 3rd to 1st. So it looks like his hitting streak is going to end at 5 consecutive games. As LSU is leading in the 7th, Jones may not have another opportunity. This will bring on Daniel Dickinson. Twice he's been hit by a pitch. He also has an RBI double, and he has walked. He's been on base 4 times.
He might get hit again because P.J. Green's throwing fastball in. Let's see. Because Daniel Dickinson does not get out of the way. He stands right near the white chalk. Got all that armor on his left arm, and he not afraid to get hit by a pitch. Leads the team in that category.
Two and 0. Three and 0.
Green very over the top, has that carry kind of at the top of the zone with the fastball. Just trying to find that release point out in front and drive it down in the zone, but Dickinson might going to take a couple pitches here.
He does on that one. A .373 average for this young man. 28 driven in along with those 6 homers. And there is ball 4. Dickinson has been to the plate 5 times. He's reached base 5 times.
Now we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Tigers, Josh Pearson. Going to step to the plate.
Josh Pearson in this series is 2 for 8 with a home run, a couple of runs driven in, and 3 runs scored. He's hitting .333. He's homered thrice with 18 driven in.
And Pearson and Ashton Larson on that bench, and that one's whacked in the corner.
Curling foul.
That one might have been a wind ball too. Didn't get any help from that wind blowing that way.
Right fielder Tyler Macon is about as deep as you can get. Anything hit over his head is going to be a home run. He's way out there. Now he comes in a little bit. I think he realized how deep he was. One and two. Pearson out of West Monroe. That area, there's the right fielder. That area of the state has been good to LSU in recent years, hasn't it?
Well, the Pearson and looked more comfortable offensively over the last week.
That was hit number 14 for LSU. Strike to Braswell. LSU today is 5 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Braswell has a chance here. And he chops it off himself at the plate. Foul. The Tigers right now have 31 base hits in this series. And 13 of those 31 hits have been for extra bases. LSU has scored 4 in the first, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the seventh. Missouri with single markers in the second, third, fourth, and seventh innings. That's chopped on a couple of hops to Lovich. He pitches it over to first for the out, and the side is retired. A couple of doubles in the inning, but LSU does not score. And we move forward to the ninth. LSU 10, Missouri 4. Relief. He's got the top of the order to work with against Goldbeck and Cerna and Peer. And if you've just joined us, his off-speed pitch has been devastating today. He has thrown as many as 7 change-ups in a row, and they've all been good ones. There's another one. It drops off the table again. Another changeup. You know, Ronnie, this is a perfect example. Number 26 is a perfect example of a pitcher who does not have to knock the bat out of your hands with just blazing speed. He pitches mindfully, he's crafty, and he's got complete control of that off-speed stuff.
And no question, he's a hero for everyone that doesn't throw 95.
Well, he compensates, and compensates beautifully.
Look, I mean, at the end of the day, baseball still comes down to throwing it over the white part of the plate, changing speeds, and being able to throw it on the inside and the outside. And that's what you're getting from Cowan just about every time he goes out there. It's the master class in command. And doesn't matter what level you play at. If you can command 2 pitches or more on both sides of the plate, you're going to have success.
There is no question that Missouri hitters know the changeup is coming. It's a different question.
Broke towards the ball first, and when Dickinson got it, he kind of hesitated and held on just a little too long to allow Jones to get to first and turn around. He needed to throw it sooner. He had the ball in his glove. He was just waiting on Jones to get there.
So the infield hit sets it up for Cerna. Runner is going to advance without a throw, without a play, and an uncontested stolen base. LSU is not worried about Goldbeck with a 6-run lead. Cerna has been held in check today. He's one of Missouri's best hitters, both in power and average. But today he is 0 for 4.
Cerna out of Doral, Florida.
You know what? Cowan has struck out 5 now. In an inning and 2/3. Here's Caden Peer. 0 for 2 today with a walk and a sacrifice fly.
Well, Cowan struck out 5 against North Alabama in 2 innings, and he also struck out 5 against Dallas Baptist in 3 innings. I have a feeling he's going to get a 6th here before this inning's over.
LSU has the shift on with 3 infielders on the right side against Caden Peer. You can see it there. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Lined into right center field for a base hit. Missouri's going to get another run out of it as Peer delivers